Hello and welcome. If this is your first time here, my name is Jill. I teach online belly dance classes. Thank you for being here. I take an approach that is fun and focused on holistic health. I have a background in nursing and community health, and the idea with my branding is combining my dance experience with my experience teaching in community health and my personal experiences with holistic health and mental health, because belly dance was the missing piece that finally helped me get a hold of my mental health and go from surviving to thriving, and that's what I wish to do for others. So let's get started with today's little mini dance lesson. The combo that I'm going to be teaching today is linked right here. It's a short that I posted last week. So let's jump in. What's happening? Press pause and take a couple minutes to get some water or move your body around if you're not warmed up, okay? How are we going to start our combo today? So we start with what's called a crossover. It's called a crossover because I'm taking my feet in front and behind. So it's like my right foot is acting as the mover in this situation, and my left foot is like the anchor. So my right foot goes forward and then my right foot goes back. Good. This is just the footwork we're reviewing right now. Forward and back. Forward and back and forward and back. Good. So if you want to make that more belly dancing instead of just footwork, you're going to lean into it. You're going to lean into your hip and kind of let it fall as you step onto your right. Your left stays neutral. There's no fall when you're on your left. Fall on the right, fall on the right. Right and right. So that's also why it's called a crossover, because like the only function of my left hip right now is to act, like I said, as the anchor, as the support for showing off our right hip. Good. Now, if you find this easy and it's not your first belly dance class, what you can do is add a shimmy to that. So every time you step, you do a little shimmy. Good. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. So shimmying is one of those things that can easily be done, especially if you're wearing something on your hips that just makes it shake, but there actually is quite a challenging technique to shimmying. It was definitely challenging for me to learn. It involves a lot of muscle control actually to do a shimmy properly, and it's important that we learn how to do it properly because we want to protect our back. And how do we do that? By engaging our core. This is why belly dancers have such strong abs, because we actually are using the strength in our legs and in our core to isolate and swing and move our hips around. We're not actually using our hip muscles, which is a very interesting aspect of this dance. So anyways, quick review. How do we shimmy? Every time I step on one foot, I'm going to crunch my obliques on the opposite side and do a quick up down. So I step on my left, I pick up my right foot, it's off the ground, and I use my core to lift that hip up, down. Step, up, down. Step, up, down. Step, up, down. Step, up, down. Speed it up. 1, 2, step up, down. Step up, down. Step up, down. It's very, when you're working on conditioning in this way, it's not dancing. It feels very forced, but it should, because you're really taking time to think about the muscles. When you take it up to full speed, that's when it happens. Step up, down, step up, down. Like I can't even talk that quickly to match how quickly my muscles are moving, but that's the idea. This is how we train our muscles to do the movement slowly, and then you speed it up. So you can do a regular crossover. You can just work on the feet if that's what's for you. You can practice sticking your hip out as you go on your right, fall on your right, or you can add a shimmy to it, which is what I did in the video. So that's our first thing. Forward with the right, back with the right. That's all we do. We only do it once. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to draw a half circle starting at my left hip, draw it around to the front, and stop when I get to my right hip. So if I'm going to practice this going back and forth from right to left. My knees are soft, my feet are hip width apart, my core is engaged, and I'm drawing the front half of a circle. If I were to draw the entire circle, this is what it looks like, and this is a different type of movement that we do on obviously without lifting our feet, because my feet are staying in place right now. So what I'm doing in that step is I'm drawing half a circle and I am lifting my feet. That is also what's really interesting about this dance, is like our hips are only able to move in like 3 planes, right? Because we live in this 3-dimensional world. But there's actually so much that you can do within those 3 planes. So it's like, it looks, it looks very different. I'm doing it on the spot here. That looks very different compared to how I did it starting with my foot up and putting my body on a diagonal. So that's cool too. It's just little tidbits about how to make things visually appealing if you're that type of person who likes to explore those kinds of ideas like me. Anyways, so forward and back and half circle. Good. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to keep your weight on your right foot and you're going to twist that right hip twice to the front. You're going to go 1, 2. So I'm working my right hip. My left leg is really just acting as an anchor right now. And my right hip, 1, 2. And then you're going to stand and keep your feet the way they are. And you're going to do a little shimmy. I just reviewed shimmy walks for you. If you want a review on how to do like a standing vibration shimmy, the tutorial is right there for you. So that's the first part, our first 8 count or 16, forward and back and half circle. Twist, twist, and shimmy. Good. The next thing that happens is we're going to do that shimmy crossover on our left foot. So you're going to go forward with your left and back. Very good. And then to keep it interesting, instead of doing a roll on the left, you're going to hit your left shoulder to the front of the room. 1, 2. Okay? Let's review that. Forward with the left, back with the left, rest your left foot next to your right, and hit your shoulder, hit your shoulder. The reason why I just said rest your left foot next to your right, I didn't say keep your feet neutral and hip width apart. I want them to be this way because of the next thing that we're going to go into. So the next thing you're going to go into is we're going to do a cute little turn. You're going to take your left foot, you're going to cross it over your right, and you're going to unwind your feet and do a turn. So it's like I'm turning 3/4. I'm starting out kind of projecting my body towards the front right of the room. And I turn, I unwind. I'm a little sticky right now because I'm in bare feet. And then I stop at the front left of the room. I'm drawing a clockwise circle around myself. What else did I want to tell you about that? In order to make this turn easier on yourself, the more that you can get your left foot, the more that you can kind of wrap that left leg around your right, the easier it is to unwind and do that turn. So let's practice up until there, the left side. So I've got my left foot forward and back and pose. Hit your left shoulder, hit your left shoulder. There's not a pause in the video. Actually, never mind. I'm just going to delete that. Hit your shoulder, hit your shoulder. Take that left foot, cross it over the right, and unwind. So now we're on to the last little part of today's combo and what happens. So when you do that turn, you're going to hug your arms in because it helps you keep your balance. And then when you finish the turn, I want you to open your arms like this. And that's because of the next move that we're going to do, which is called a hip sit or a hip drop. There's a tutorial for them right there. And this is a really nice way to put your arms because it frames the movement very nicely. If my arms were both down, it just doesn't draw as much attention as it does like this. It's just a nice way to frame your body. But you can play around with different things. Like obviously if I'm doing this, it's a little strange on the eyes. Anyways, so we come out of our turn, we're here, and you're gonna do 3 hip sits. You're gonna do 1, basically like aligned with the direction your body is facing. You're gonna do another one, which is sort of like, if this is considered front, the next one is going to be middle. It's like you're opening up your body to the front of the room because we did a 3/4 turn. We're facing the corner, but we want to finish facing all the way front. So we're going to use these sits to take ourselves around. So you're going to go 1, open, open. So it's like if I was doing that facing the front of the room, it would be 1, 2, 3. But since I'm starting facing the corner, 1, 2, 3, I open my body and I finish facing front. let's walk through the whole thing, okay? So we're gonna start with the right foot. We're gonna do our shimmy crossovers. 5, 6, 7, 8. Forward and back. And half circle. Twist and twist. Shimmy. Good. Now we're gonna go with the left foot. Forward and back. And shoulder, shoulder. Turn and open, and 1, 2, 3. Very good. So one thing that I didn't add in that video was arms. What time are we at? 10 minutes, perfect. Great. So if you want to really take it up a notch, we can add arms, because what's fun about this dance also is that there's so many layers and so many things to think about. I think that this is true for most styles of dance. There's holding your posture. There's what are you doing with your feet. With this dance, we've got that extra layer of what am I doing with my hips. There's keeping your chin up. That is also, and tucked. That is also part of kind of good spinal posture, because your neck is obviously part of your spine. And then there's also our arms. And that is something that makes this dance very hypnotic, because our arms are often very fluid and soft, and they follow the melody, whereas our feet and our hips are following the beat. It's just so many reasons why I love this dance. And that's really good for your brain, right? It's like this on a whole other level. And I really believe that that is part of why it is really good for stress, and why it helped me so much with my mental health, with my depression and anxiety. It's really more than any sort of fitness obviously helps with our physical and mental health. It helps us release excess stress. But there is something about the femininity and the expressiveness in belly dance that I find particularly healing. It really helped me connect with and heal my relationship with my femininity, and make me feel more self-confident in expressing my individuality. We all have different ways that we want to express ourselves, and we all kind of have a unique energetic signature in this world that we're meant to express. And I really believe that this dance helps all of us express our individuality as well. So that's why I talk a lot in my videos, because I want to get to know you, but also because it's there isn't, aside from safety and muscle control, there aren't a lot of rules. I was just talking about the arms. No one's gonna tell you you're doing it wrong if you do your hip sit like this instead of like this. Try it out and see what you like. Comment and let me know what kind you liked better. Show me your videos. I want to see them. Practice. Okay, so anyways, let's wrap up by me showing you some arm layers for our combo. So when you do crossovers, a nice thing to do is just kind of frame the movement. So when I step forward, my arms are to the right, and when I step back, they're to the left. So we only do that once. So we go 1 and 2. You're not going to do much with your arms for your half circle. You're just kind of going to follow your hips, because you want people to see what's happening. I'm not going to do too much, because then that would be a distraction from the subtle hip movement. So we go forward and back and open. I'm going to keep my hand here so that people see, hey, this is where you should be looking. Twist and shimmy. Good. We're going to do the same thing on the left. Forward and back. And obviously our arm is involved with this shoulder move, 1 and 2. And then I walked you through these arms. Hug yourself, turn around, open, and hip sits. 1, 2, 3. Let's do the whole thing together. Arms, hips, feet, all of it. Okay, ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, roll. Good. Twist, shimmy. On the left. 1 and 2. Shoulder, cross, open. 1, 2, 3. Good. Wonderful. I hope you enjoyed that. I have many more classes linked below. I upload them to my YouTube channel pretty frequently. I try to do it weekly, and have fun. Welcome. If you want to know any more about me, all of the information is below. Thank you for being here. Please do like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Have a great day.